Livestream goal! She wasn't going for goal, but she'll happily accept it.
It's gone all the way through, and look at this! Chewinga! Did you dare write Barcelona off?
The career of one of the all-time greats is all but over.
Nice comeback.
Uma oportunidade de dizer alguma coisa que eu acho que nunca disse.
Let's get this party started!
NFL Game Pass is now exclusively on DAZN.
Let's get this thing going.
Watch every game, plus the playoffs and Super Bowl. It's your all-access pass.
That is how you fight a southpaw. Well on his way to coming back.
Katie Taylor does it again. Look at the emotion.
How do you like it? Off the shoulder.
So aggressive, so focused.
Look at these two guys. Still the undisputed champion of the world.
Hello and welcome to sunny Orlando, Florida, where Disney World is not the only place magic happens. We are at the Caribe Royale for Most Valuable Prospects number 6. Once again, giving you all of the greatest boxing action from the rising up-and-coming boxers across the world. We have a fantastic show for you tonight, and all of our fights, from the preliminary card all the way through the main event, are ones to keep an eye on. But specifically, we are here for that main event. Yoenis Tellez versus Joseph Jackson for the WBA Continental Latin America's Super Welterweight Championship. And folks, keep an eye on that co-main event. Tony Aguilar, Alexander Rios, the first rematch on Prospects, and one you do not want to miss. But also, we have a stacked preliminary card as well, and our opening bout is one that I am so excited for. Natalie No Love Dove, Alicia Lopez, and our heavyweight matchup to kick off and end our preliminary card, Garcia as well. But our tail of the tape, to get started here, folks, we have Natalie No Love Dove versus Alicia Lopez. Our tail of the tape brought to you by Celsius Live Fit Essential Energy. Lopez, 7 years the elder, but a 4.5-inch reach advantage for Dove. Now, without any further ado, let's get into our action.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you inside the beautiful Caribe Royale here in Orlando, Florida, for MVP's Most Valuable Most Valuable Prospects 6 live on DAZN. We begin tonight's action in the women's featherweight division. First up, ready to make her way to the ring, please welcome Alicia Lopez.
And folks, as always, Alicio and Flash, Nonito Donaire. Gentlemen, it's great to be here with you once again. Dan, talk to me about Alicia Lopez really quick here.
Alicia Lopez, 3-time Golden Gloves champion, making her pro debut, fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio, has a tough assignment ahead of her with Natalie No Love Dove. And we were talking about in the weigh-in yesterday, they were chirping at each other.
Beef.
A little bit of beef, Nonito. I like that.
I mean, it's always exciting to have those energy coming back and forth. You know, they want to win.
Yes, of course.
And now, set to make her way to the ring, Nat No. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we welcome you inside the beautiful Caribe Royale here in beautiful Orlando, Florida for our big night of action coming your way. It's all brought to you by Jake Paul and Nakisa Badarian's MVP in association with Box Lab Promotions. Sponsored by Celsius, Live Fit, Essential Energy. All of tonight's bouts are under the auspices of the Florida Athletic Commission. Executive Director, Timothy L. Shipman. Executive Director, Gregory L. Pitts. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this opening contest from ringside, Michelle Walker-Serrano, Efren LeBron, and Alexander Levin. Your referee in charge of the action at the sound of the bell, Massimo Montanini. All right, fight fans, here we go with our opening preliminary bout of the evening, scheduled for 4 2-minute rounds in the women's flyweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing multicolored trunks. She officially weighed in at 111.4 pounds. Tonight, she is making her professional debut, fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Alicia Lopez. And her opponent tonight, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing silver trunks trimmed in purple. Her official weight, 114 pounds even. This former decorated amateur star and multiple-time national champion enters the ring tonight perfect in her young career, with a professional record of 1 win, no losses. Fighting at the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the wildly popular and undefeated Nat No Love Dove. Once again, referee Massimo Montanini will give his instructions to the fighters.
You know the rules, huh? Respect each other, respect the rules, okay? Touch them all.
Ref hold.
I'm telling you, this intensity between these two, man. Yesterday, like I said at weigh-ins, they had some words for each other. No more words, letting the gloves do the talking now, but this one's one to watch. I've been excited for this since I've seen it on the card. Here we go, round 1. Nat Dove and Alicia Lopez.
Good jab for Nat Dove. She's setting things up, using that jab, which is what you see from a very decorated amateur background from her.
A 15-time champion, you know that she's got a jab. And she's looking to set up those power shots early, but everything you know, everything is set up with the jab.
That's right. Everything else can be set up with that jab, a left hook, a straight, and everything else.
That left hook was so quick.
And being a taller person in this fight, that will reach, especially after the jab.
Another solid jab there from No Love.
Now, as you can see with Lopez, she's trying to feint with the hands all over Nat Dove's face, but she's not falling for that. And because of her experience, allows her to understand that that's just a ploy.
And she also needs to get her head off the center line because she's coming in with that chin wide open.
And the left hooks are getting closer from No Love. She goes to the body there with one. Lead hook upstairs as well, sitting down in the pocket.
You know, one thing I do see from Dove is when she punches, her head is right in the center, which can be countered.
It does feel like as the fight has started here, Lopez still trying to gain some footing and deal with that jab. No Love started the fight, putting it on her, and has established that range off of it.
And knowing that she's a smaller person in this fight, she's actually trying to move her head so that she's not she's a moving target rather than a target that, you know, just complacent right there in the middle.
Dan, there was that short left hook you were talking about as Alicia kind of closed distance, got caught with one on the way in.
She's mixing it up. Like, it seems like the left hand from Dove is the one that she really wants to land. But she's mixed in some right hands as well, so she's showing off that she's ambidextrous in there.
Right, and she actually landed the uppercut as Lopez was coming in.
Good first round, man. That was solid. Solid work. A lot of volume in that first round. No hesitation in a pro debut from Lopez, and only one fight under the belt as a pro for No Love Dove. They got straight to business.
Well, shorter fight, I mean, not a lot of rounds, and also 2 minutes. Yeah. So there's no time to waste. And that's what you like to see from fighters when they have that they have that urgency, you know. His replays from round 1, and it was a lot of left hands from Dove. We saw last week the left hand of Ryan Garcia, and now we're seeing it from Natalie No Love Dove.
Everybody taking the Garcia route now.
She kind of throws it like Ryan, but kind of chin back, leaning back. She has really long arms.
And he's quick.
And you can see some swelling on Lopez's nose already.
Looking good. All right, let's go. Put that in. Mouthpiece.
Working on getting that mouthpiece in the Lopez corner.
There's a little bit of panic in that corner.
Heard it a little bit, didn't you, Flash?
I did. I felt that too.
Plus, you're in the corner now. You obviously still want to fight, but you're also training too. How important is it to bring a calmness in that corner?
It's the most crucial thing because they take in your energy.
Nice left hand there on the finish from No Love.
Trying to find a home for that left.
But as you said, Flash, it's important for your fighter because they're going to read off that energy, right? Your first round's under the book as a pro. You want to have that confidence that your coaches are going to be there for you. And in the pocket, we're just getting back and forth from both ladies here.
It's a high-level fight.
Also, what I'm seeing from Dove in these moments right here, in the clinch here, she's the bigger, stronger woman in there, and she's kind of using her body weight to kind of push around Lopez.
Lopez going to the body, a couple shots there, and then went upstairs with a left hook.
Dove has to use her range. I think that's when she's very powerful, when she can have that range to land those left hook, those straights, and even the jabs.
Nat Dove trying to show no love to Alicia Lopez right now in this second round. Trying to follow up on that first, where she had a lot of success with the lead hand. But now it looks like the backhand is coming into play, guys.
Right, and all of that is set up by the jab.
That's a simple one, too, and it works.
Lands flush through the guard there.
And then she followed it up with the jab afterward, too, which is, you know, defensively, you should be able to do. And again, she does it again to protect herself.
What you're starting to see, Dan, is a little bit of the fluidity between combinations, right? Now she's mixing it up. Now we've seen the jab a couple times, and now we're seeing the faded jab, lead hook, then the backhand. It looks like everything right now is going right for No Love.
It's pretty impressive. I mean, 4 minutes of action, and she's showed off a lot of different wrinkles, which makes it really hard for Lopez to figure out what's coming.
Right. You know, you got to give it up to Lopez, who comes in to fight.
Yeah.
Came in to fight.
Walking forward, trying to make some things happen, but 2 rounds in, and it looks like it's all No Love.
100%. I agree with that. You know, just the movement, just the overall ability that Dove is showing.
Okay. Bucket.
And again, we go back to this corner work. When we're here, 2 rounds in, what is she looking for?
She's got her head out of the ring.
I have no idea. You have to, like you said, Flash, remain calm, but you also have to instill in the fighter now, it's time. You know, we've seen what she has. We have to kind of change the tide of this fight a little bit if you're cornering Lopez.
Well, it doesn't help that you're looking for a spit bucket and your mouthpiece throughout the rounds. You know, there's just panic in that corner, and someone has to be designated to do what they're supposed to do. Buckets, mouthpiece, water, and all of that stuff to make everything go.
That's tough.
A little organization needed in the Lopez corner here, Dan.
It's hard enough to fight. Get in there and fight 2 minutes. When you get to the corner, I mean, I've never been in the ring, but I got to figure when I head over to the corner, it's like a moment of solace. That's where you can be with your people.
It's a nice double jab to start the round there from Lopez, but gets stuck with the right hand on the end there.
She is trying to get inside. She's a smaller fighter, Naito, and there's a lot of different ways you can get inside as a smaller fighter. There's footwork, there's head movement, there's double jabs. None of it's actually working that effectively, but she is trying to get inside Lopez.
Right. And I think for Dove is, you know, she has an amazing jab, but I think the one thing that she's missing in this fight is a feint, because she, you know, Lopez is already understanding that she's going to throw that punch, but if you put a little feint in there to set up another punch behind it, you know, it can truly work, because She's already expecting it.
But she fainted there a little bit. Not consistently enough.
Some different things here, though, from Lopez in this round. Started with the body work, went upstairs with the right hand there as well. Short right hand there.
Ooh, nice right hand. But this is why I mentioned earlier with that overhand, her head is right in the middle.
Yeah, you're right. She stayed there a little too long.
A nice sequence there from both fighters. Lopez got some shots off as well as no love.
Make it work. Step in there with it. Come on. She ain't got it. Pop. Come on, let's go, Biggie! Yeah.
Good dig to the body.
That was a nice left hook to the body there from Nat Dove. Right hand as well.
Lopez is fighting that overhand, you know, and again, because Nat Dove is just right there with a few punches.
Nice right hand again from Dove. It feels like when the action slows down, Nat Dove is able to pick Lopez apart bit by bit. But when we're in the pocket and we're throwing, it's anybody's fight. It becomes 50-50, Dan.
But the first punch, like you said, the first punch of the exchange, like we saw right there, and we saw time and time again, that 1-2. That 1-2 is working. And
good straight. There she moved her head out, which missed for Lopez, but was able to land the punch from Dove.
A solid end of the round again for Nat Dove. Found something there in that right hand in the last couple of exchanges. I would expect this round 4 maybe turn the heat up even more, Dan.
Yeah, through 3 rounds, I haven't all Natalie No Love Dove. 3 rounds to nothing, pitching a little bit of a shutout. Though Lopez did have some success in that round 3, so on my card, Lopez got to go for a knockdown or knockout here.
And that's a tall order, knowing you have somebody who is very talented and skillful.
In Flash, you see some of these shots in the replay. You're starting to find these right hands through the guard if you're No Love, but Lopez in the pocket.
And there he goes with that overhand that she found a couple of times in that round.
Come on. Hey, come.
When you find these moments in the pocket, that's where I think the fight gets a little closer. And if you're Lopez, she's been trying to get there all fight. Have to in this round. And like you said, Dan, probably needs a stoppage.
She's got to know that she's down 3-0. I mean, the last round was, she had her moments.
And you can see her urgency in this round. She was pressing forward.
Left hook and then a right hand. Look at that. No Love sliding out in range. 3-punch combo again for Dove.
Dove is just active. I like that. That last combination, nothing landed of note, but she was still letting her hands go.
And on the back foot, Dan.
It's so important.
For a young fighter, so hard to implement and be consistent with.
Right, and you can throw up the back foot when you have that reach. She has really long arms.
Exactly, and that's where she should fight, you know, with the jab behind it and stepping back foot, coming in with the hook after that when Lopez steps in.
Like use your physical advantages, right?
Yes. Because this is where Lopez wants her to be.
Minute and change here in our final round. Both ladies just going after it in this round just like the first 3. And solid enough body work for Lopez, but at the end of the combination, once again, Dove lands that right hook.
And Dove is not doubling up on the jab, and I think that's why she's not stopping Lopez off her track. Coming in good straight.
Lead right. Kind of a hard punch to throw and land. Really impressive stuff from Natalie No Love Dove.
Last 20 seconds and change. There's a left hook, right hand through the guard.
She's smelling blood now. She wants it done.
Finishing strong. Love that.
That
was probably the best punch of the fight.
And a right hand behind it. Left hook upstairs for Dove. And that is where we will end it. What fight!
That's the type of round where you add 1 more minute on. I think Dove could have got Lopez out of there. Because she was hammering down to the body in that last round. She landed probably the best punch of the night for her towards that last minute. You could really hear the steam on that power shot. Really impressive stuff from Dove.
Folks, on Saturday, May 4th, Canelo returns to DAZN to fight the undefeated Jaime Munguia for the undisputed super middleweight title. After the drama of the delay of a cut to Tyson Fury in sparring, a new date is now also set for the undisputed heavyweight clash between Fury and Alexander Usyk, live on DAZN from Saudi Arabia, May 18th. And like you said, gentlemen, that last round was fireworks. Lopez, again, trying to get inside, trying to find her way to the body to work upstairs, but it was no loved up with the combinations and with the damage.
Just letting her hands go all fight, right from the opening bell. Didn't waste any time. That was that body shot that I really liked. Digging downstairs, going upstairs, throwing lead right hands, throwing check left hooks. Yeah, you can see why she was a 15-time amateur champion.
And then it shows
they're still chirping at each other too. That's like Lopez is happy. Lopez is happy.
Wasn't enough.
Lopez is ecstatic. She went the 4 rounds, it seems like.
The intelligence in Nat Dove on this one, stepping back and leaving a punch behind, which Lopez ran into, you know, made it very, just very skillful for her to step back and utilize her power.
Well, it looks like we have our decision. Let's send it into Will Montero with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I announce the decision, let's give both fighters a big round of applause. After 4 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. Judge Alexander Levin sees it 39-37. Judges Michelle Walker-Serrano and Efren LeBron see it 40-36. All for your winner by unanimous decision victory and still undefeated, Nat No Love Dove.
Your winner, Nat No Love Dove, moves to 2-0. An impressive performance. Flash, what was your big takeaway here?
Well, she started to use a variety of movements, you know, coming in and then stepping out and leaving punches out there, especially later on in the final round where she used her distance to utilize her power.
As you see her go forward, right, 2-0, again, a decorated amateur career, what do you think the things that she can work on, the things that she can get better with as a young fighter?
Doubling up the jab, using a little bit of feint, and not getting careless with that overhand, moving her head out of the line.
And Dan, what were some of the things you liked that you saw in there?
One thing I didn't like is one judge gave Lopez a round. I didn't see that.
Good fight, thank you.
Other than that, from Lopez, from Dove, I love the punch selection. I have to agree with Nonita. There's always something that you can work on. Double up the jab, it doesn't hurt. But I really loved her offense. I really loved her sitting down on punches. I think if you added on 2 more rounds, if you added on another minute to that last round, she might have been able to get Lopez out of there. But really impressive stuff, and I really want to see Natalie Dove fight in the MVP ring once again.
I'll tell you something. One of the things I take away from a young fighter like this is the gumption to go out and do this in your second fight. Whatever, we're not spending any time wasted. We're going to go out and throw hands. I like that aggressiveness. You can always pull that back in, but I love that for No Love Dove. But coming up next, we have a featherweight matchup. Bocanegra versus Dos Santos Rocha. 4 rounds coming up right after this.
Hey champ, I know why you're here. You're a born winner, the top dog. You have a proper punch on you. It only takes one, eh? But I know you're not all about throwing haymakers. You know your bobs from your weaves, and you know DAZN's got over 150 fights every year. Over 150. Proper stat. All the action, the chaos, the comebacks, the non-stop knockouts. Big fights every week. So get those gloves back on. Together, we're boxing royalty. DAZN, undisputed.
And we are back, and our next matchup features a featherweight matchup between Xavier the X-Man Bocanegra and Carlos Dos Santos Rocha. Tail of tape presented by Celsius Live Fit Essential Energy. 10 years senior is Rocha, but 7-inch reach advantage goes to the X-Man. Fun fight, folks. Stay locked in. Here we go.
And now, coming to the ring, Carlos Dos Santos Rocha.
De Los Santos Orocha. Riding a 3-fight.
Dan, you roll those arms like that again, brother. I'm going to have to get up and...
I'm getting ready for the main card. He's riding a 3-fight losing streak. Hasn't gotten to the win column since 2022. But in those 2 of those 3 losses, he went the distance. This guy will give you rounds. Fighting out of San Paulo, Brazil. 10 years older than Boca Negra, so keep an eye on that.
His opponent tonight, making his way to the ring, Xavier, X-Men Boca Negra.
Now Flash Boca Negra's riding a 3-fight winning streak. That's what you want.
Flash, they call him the X-Man. We know you as Flash, but did you have a favorite X-Men growing up?
Wolverine.
Oh, okay. Let's hope he fights like him right here.
I named my son Logan for a reason.
Okay. Wow. Well, listen, I'm Wade. You know what I'm saying? Wade Wilson.
There you go.
Deadpool action.
Yeah.
I want to see some of that in this fight. That's all I'm saying.
Saw your sons in the pool over here.
Oh, they love
having the time of their life.
They love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, from inside the beautiful Caribe Royale here in Orlando, Florida, we are ready for our next bout of the evening. All brought to you by Jake Paul and Nakisa Bedarian's MVP in association with BoxLab Promotions. Sponsored by Celsius, Live Fit, Essential Energy. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this contest from ringside on a 10-point must system. Max Parker Jr., Michelle Walker Serrano, and Efren LeBron. Your referee in charge of the action at the sound of the bell, Frank Santor Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with our next bout of the evening, scheduled for 4 rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks trimmed in gold. His official weight, 128.2 pounds. He enters the ring tonight with a professional record of 3 wins, opposite 3 defeats, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Plant City, Florida, by way of Sao Paulo, Brazil, here is Carlos dos Santos Rocha. And his opponent standing across the ring, ready to go, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks trimmed in white. His official weight, 128 pounds even. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 3 wins, no losses, 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Donna, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, here is the undefeated Xavier, X-Men Boca Negra. Once again, referee Frank Santor Jr. will give his instructions to the fighters.
All right, guys, we're going over all instructions in the dressing room. Your trunks are a little high, so a blow here is going to be fair. His trunks are a little low, so keep them above the belt line. Questions? Questions? Good luck, guys.
Here we go, folks. 4 rounds in the featherweight division. Rocha, Boca Negra.
Time.
Round 1. Let's get it going. And right off rip, you see the X-Man is not playing any games. Straight with the jab to the body right away. On the front foot, walking Rocha down.
You know, a lot of that jab that's working right now sets up that straight, and that's why he's able to land those straights on Rocha.
He already landed 1 straight.
Oh, there's a right hand, a short one.
But in the first round, when you throw a jab like that, is it like when you're watching like a pitcher and he's trying to get his fastball over? To get that jab going, it's like the most technical and fundamental punch, I feel like.
Right. The jab is just, it confuses your opponent because you don't know what's coming up behind it, you know? Especially if it's a offensive jab like what he was throwing.
Look at that. Boca Negra switches stances for a second there.
Stop.
That's a good way to negate a jab.
Let me go. Come on, guys.
Southpaw stance. It's a lot harder to land a lead jab on a southpaw stance.
And you can see the confidence in Boca Negra.
Right away, huh, Flash? Just getting on that front foot and establishing that jab, establishing that offense. Honestly, it looks like he wants to end this thing pretty quickly.
Don't hold him, let him go. Punch your way out. Punch your way out, guys. Come on, your hands are free. Punch your way out.
What I like too, this is a 4-round fight. We saw this in the previous fight with Dove. It's just coming out and letting your hands go. You can't waste any time. You only have 4 rounds.
If you want the knockout, yeah, that's exactly what it is, you know.
Not only that, if you just want to win, you want to pile up rounds. You can't, you know, do that prototypical feeling out round when you're only fighting for 12 minutes.
I like that, though, from Rocha.
Rocha stepped back and throw that straight that Bocanegra really ran into.
Big-time counter right hand there.
Well, that's the thing. If you're Bocanegra and you're going to be really active, there's going to be some counter opportunities for Rocha.
Sharp right hand there from X-Man as he lets one fly through the guard.
You know, I think Rocha is starting to warm up as well. That was a good jab coming from him.
Don't hold him.
Nice jab, and he slips outside of one and lands a left hook to the body as well, Flash.
I think Bocanegra just needs to stay with that jab to set everything up, body straight, and slip the punches.
He's putting so much pressure on Rocha with the jab and also just mental pressure, really pushing him back.
But he has to be careful to just run into something, you know?
There's a nice right hand again, but then a slick jab from Rocha to counter.
Good jab.
It looks like right now Rocha's just waiting, trying to counter that jab with a pullback right hand, Dan.
Well, he's throwing his own jab now, too. That's a good way to negate your opponent's jab and slow down your opponent a little bit. You can wait to counter, or you can jab with the jabber.
And it's something that you will see in guys like these in the beginning. You know, they stay with one thing. If it's an offensive jab, they stick with the offensive jab rather than having different type of jabs. Feint jabs, you know, jabs that doesn't have to land.
We are throwing some heat to end round 1 there. Good round. My goodness. Great start to the round for X-Man. Great finish for both fighters. Overall, Flash, what did you see there?
Rocha's a live fighter. You know, he's here to fight. You know, one thing that Bocanegra needs to do is set his jab and just different type of jabs. You know, feint jabs that doesn't have to just make him set up punches behind it. You know, you don't have to always land the jab. And I think that's something that he needs to learn in this fight, is that nothing has to be set. Everything has to be set in everything else from the jab.
What you're going to see here is a very, very active Xavier Bocanegra.
Right hand.
He came out in that first round through probably 60, 70 punches, Flash.
But because Bocanegra does the same thing over and over, there is nothing that gives him the variety, and it's easy to read.
And even Rocha, you know, only having 6 fights, 30 years old, been around, has seen this. And again, gets under the jab. Nice left hook to the body to start the round for Rocha.
Yeah, it seems like he has his game plan is I'm going to throw underneath some of these wild shots that Bocanegra's throwing.
Exactly, because Bocanegra is just throwing the same jab, so he's slipping that jab and he's going underneath it, and he's landing those shots.
Combinations as well there.
That was really nice. Starting to warm up. Starting to see a little bit of some tendencies here starting to.
Oh, both guys land there. Shovel hook right hand.
Here.
X-Men. Bocanegra puts down Rocha with a big right hand here in round 2.
The thing with Bocanegra, like you said, Flash, he's throwing the same thing, but that right is so lethal, and he was just missing at points in that first round, but that one connects right on the money.
Stop, break.
And the reason he caught Rocha with that is Rocha was trying to shift, which left himself open, as just how he was moving just now, just like that. That's how he got caught with that straight.
They have both fighters right now playing with fire, and Rocha's getting burned.
Rocha got
another right hand.
His legs look okay. They don't look like he's moving around a lot. They're not choosing to hold.
And his eyes is there.
Yeah.
You know, that's the difference between a guy who is in panic. He seems to be there still.
He took your namesake, Flash. That's a Flash knockdown there. Oh, right hand again from Bocanegra.
Just that movement that he's doing will lead for him to get hit with that straight every single time. When he's trying to slip or shift, whatever he was doing, but his head is right there.
Looks like he's trying to slip inside of that jab and then follow up with the lead hook, but he's running right into that right hand from Bocanegra.
Right, he's susceptible for that shot. Instead of stepping over, he's just staying there moving his body.
This is why boxing is called the sweet science, the chess game in there. You make a read, adjustment. It's just who finds that button quicker. And right now, Bocanegra is finding it.
That right hand is...
Stop, break.
He has found a home for that right hand, Dan.
Yeah, he was also sitting down on shots there when he had him against the ropes. That's a new wrinkle we haven't seen yet. Now he's digging to the body.
Double left hook to the body there. Beautiful shots.
He's a live wire. He's got a lot of movement. He's got a lot of energy.
But look at Rocha's eyes. There's still some fire in them.
It's the one thing you look at after a knockdown. You look at the legs, then you go up and I look at the eyes.
The eyes, exactly.
They never lie.
Last 30 seconds here. Round number 2.
You can tell that Rocha's power has diminished. You know, from those shots, they take away a lot from your body.
Nice combination there from the X-Man once again.
Don't hold him. Come on now.
10 seconds here in round 2. Bocanegra walking forward.
Good body shot from Rocha. Counter.
Solid round 2, and a solid right hand lands from X-Man Bocanegra.
¿Usted bien o no? José, si usted, cuando tú mueves la cabeza es del lado, ellos go. De este lado, por favor. No te hagas feo. No te hagas. No.
Talk me through this this replay here, Dan.
What are you going to see?
Oh, you see how he just steps, but his hand is there.
The second look at it right there. Oh. The lead right. Perfect length on that. Perfect extension. I feel like Rocha kind of handled it pretty well. I mean, he was knocked down with 2 minutes to go.
Right.
And it wasn't like he was dominated the rest of the round. Still a 10-8 round for Boca. But you can see, like, Santos he's right here. I mean, Rocha's right here in the corner, and he's right in the center of the ring.
Yeah, look at his eyes again.
Well, let's check in with Coach Larry Wade to see what he thinks as we head into round 3.
Bocanegra's doing a great job of using his distance and range. He's showing that his size is definitely better than Rocha. If you can see, that right hand is dropping and touching him every single time. He's using his size, and he's putting it on him nonstop. I can't see this fight lasting the entire 4 rounds.
Appreciate it, Coach. Oh, there's another right hand.
Right on cue, Coach.
Unbelievable. It's that Wade connection, you know? You throw it to Wade, he comes back. But a big right hand once again lands there, gentlemen.
That was a chopping left hand. And before that, he landed some big shots, too, kind of softened him up a little bit. Now I'm not seeing much from Rocha here. I'm seeing a little bit. Like that shot might have got to him.
I was going to say this, Flash. Oh, man, he lands another glancing right hand. That's, I mean, inches away from ending the fight, it feels like.
Well, X-Men is throwing that overhand. He sees it already. He's trying to take the fight out, you know, to stop it. I mean, it's just the power that he has and the confidence that he has now. And you can tell that Rocha doesn't have that danger.
Oh, nice counter right hand there from Rocha.
He did get that one right.
What I was going to say was it feels like for a young fighter like Bocanegra, there's almost just a willingness to be in that fire, that risk factor. Just a young, hungry fighter. Yeah. Feels like he just wants to put that pressure on, regardless what the blowback might be.
He's got no fear, no repercussions.
Because we saw it from round 1, he stepped on the gas immediately.
Yeah.
There was no fear of any kind of, like, cool, we'll get in a war, we'll throw some punches, I'm going to win that war every time. That's his mindset right now, Flash.
Well, he started with a good jab, and then after that, I'm like, oh, I can take this guy out, you know. And that's what he's going for. He's going for that knockout. He wants that knockout. But sometimes, you know, you don't want to leave yourself open, because bigger shots from bigger fighters, you know, with bigger shots can be detrimental.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Is that confidence, or is that a little bit of youthful bliss and ignorance?
Both.
Yeah.
It's both. You know, you have that arrogance, you have that hunger, but mainly, you know, you have that power that you've worked for. You know, and you see it in your opponent as well, backing down and all of that stuff. I mean, all of that just umps up you're inspired and motivated to just get that knockout.
And you can see Bocanegra right now, instead of maybe being a little bit more patient and cutting off the ring, you're seeing him start to chase Rocha around a little bit.
He's looking for that knockout, and you can do that when you've scored 2 knockknockdoks. I don't know, as he rises the ranks, Flash, I don't know if he should fight like this every single time. He wants that flashy knockout.
No, not at all. I mean, everything has to be set up like he did with that jab, you know, and slip some punches. You gotta have have a variety of punches. You know, I didn't see him throw any uppercut when Rocha is hittable with that uppercut. You know, he leans forward right there, an uppercut right there. You know, stuff like that. Well, he came up with that.
Lead jab right there to end the round once again, and another good round for Bocanegra.
Last round, 4th round. Last round, 4th round.
Another knockdown here in round 3, another 10-8 round for Boca.
Short right hand right there. That was top of the year.
That was more of a chopping shot where his first knockdown with that full extension right hand, this time he chopped him down.
Orlando, Florida, make some noise. This is the 4th and final round.
All right, gentlemen, let's see what Xavier Bocanegra still has in the tank. Can he finish this fight? And can Rocha turn the tide? He's going to need a knock out here.
My guess is Bocanegra is going to come forward, and he's going to throw more of those winging hooks. And there it is.
Well, he threw a good uppercut there.
I was going to say, off the lead hand, he's starting to transition that jab into a nice little shoulder hook and then some uppercuts behind it.
I like that he's going for the knockout. I mean, he has this fight in the bag. He could probably dance around and move around the ring for 2.5 minutes, but he's going for the knockout.
Let him go.
And that's the thing is when you see that blood, you know, you want to go for it. You know, you're like a shark in the water and you see it, you know. It's just the most satisfying victory is to have a knockout victory.
All right, take it out of the hands of the judges. Impress the MVP.
We have Nikisa Badarian sitting here ringside. He's looking for it. And so far, Dan Canobio, talk me through the scorecard.
Look at that. Dan's scorecard. I love that. Bocanegra with those 2 big knockdowns in rounds 2 and 3. He's got this one in the bag. Like I said, he could move around in there. He could probably coast for the final minute and a half, but he's going and he's sitting down on shots. He's trying to impress.
But I like what you said there, Dan, because this is the prospect series, right? You're putting yourself in front of the world here on MVP. And also, like I said, we have a lot of people in the building that are looking for that next big name, looking to bring you back on this card. It's not just about winning, it's also how you win here.
Well, we've seen fighters go from this undercard to the main card.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of the MVP prospect series. Is like you can work your way up. You get on the prelims, you impress like Bocanegra's done, and you keep impressing. And then one day you find yourself on the first fight of the night on the main card on DAZN. I love that.
That's happening tonight, by the way. Yoenis Tellez in our main event. Was on the undercard and co-main events for Jake Paul just a couple of months back.
Yeah, we've seen it from Lorenzo Medina. He's climbed the ranks.
Don't grab him.
Last minute here, round number 4. Nice body shot there from Bocanegra.
I think Bocanegra just needs to have a different weapon, not just the same thing over and over, because Rocha is already kind of seeing it, except for that straight.
Yeah, Flash, you start to see a little bit of the patterns build up with that lead hand and then looking for the big overhand over the top of that.
And a lot of the times your opponent can brace himself.
And it got him into trouble a little bit earlier in the fight when maybe both fighters were a bit fresh, but that was a nice left hand. Oh, another right hand there. Rocha's hurt.
He is hurt.
Got 15 seconds to survive. Make that final bell.
You can see his body's not complying with him.
That left hand hurt Rocha badly. Hanging on for these last few seconds. Bocanegra walking him down, and that'll be it. Wow. What a fight between Xavier Bocanegra and Carlos dos Santos Rocha, and a performance that we will not forget from the X-Men. All 4 heavyweight titles will be up for grabs on May 18th when Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk collide for the undisputed heavyweight championship in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, live on DAZN. Well, gentlemen, after that, I mean, quick thoughts?
Well, for me, me, you know, Bocanegra needs to just have a variety of punches, set everything up, but he was just going for one thing that was offensive, just being offensive, utilizing the offense and negating his defense. He didn't even really care too much about his defense.
It might work at this level, and it did, because he scored 2 knockdowns, and he looked pretty impressive, but you're right, Flash. I think with Ronnie Shields in his corner, they'll go back to the drawing board. They'll kind of rein in some of those raw skills that he has, but I like those raw skills. Power. And I like his aggressiveness, and I like the fact that he came out looking for that knockout. But there's always room for improvement. You know, we're not criticizing him, we're giving him constructive criticism, but I loved what I saw in terms of his raw abilities and his length, and that first knockdown was a thing of beauty.
Again, we have to realize only 20 years old, only 3 fights under his belt, almost had his 3rd knockout, but again, the namesake, X-Man, he fought like Wolverine in there, man. It was a fun fight, and again, you saw no lack of confidence, no unwillingness to get into the fire. All these things as a young fighter, you can train a little bit more patience, you can train a little bit of that stuff, but what we like to see is that killer mentality, and X-Man brought it. But now let's go into the ring with Will Montero and our official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. Judges Max Parker Jr., Michelle Walker Serrano, and Efren LeBron see it identical at 40-34, all for your winner by unanimous decision victory and remains undefeated, Xavier X-Man Bocanegra.
As expected there, Flash, unanimous decision victory for Xavier Bocanegra. And as we look back at this fight, like you said, there's lessons to be learned, but the big takeaway is this young prospect has power in his hands and is looking for that highlight finish, wanting to get that KO.
100%, and I think that's something that he can impose when he's going back into training, is being able to not be predictable. And that's where his true power will come out and knock guys out, because punches that you don't see is the punches that hurts the most.
And Dan, when you look at Bocanegra, 20 years old, what do you see for him next?
I mean, more fights like this, more fights where he can learn. Like you said, only 20 years old. Maybe find a fighter next time that will come forward a little more. And the last fighter was more of a counterpuncher.
Well, folks, coming up next, a super featherweight matchup between Harris and Caro. 6 rounds coming at you.
Live on DAZN Worldwide May 18th. The fight of the century. Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Tyson Fury looks to reign as king of the division. But Alexander Usyk is undefeated and coming for the crown. For the first time in over 20 years, all the belts are on the line. Ring of Fire, live on DAZN Worldwide, May 18th. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Folks, we are back here once again at the Caribe Royale Resort in Orlando, Florida. 2 fights down, but we still have a lot more action, including our next matchup, the tail of the tape for this super featherweight fight. DeMichael Harris, 27 years of age, possessing a 6.5-inch reach advantage over the 30-year-old Velas Ezequiel Caro. 6 rounds of action starting right now.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, Velas Ezequiel Caro.
Ezequiel Caro, 19th fight of his pro career, coming off of a 4th-round stoppage just earlier this month, about 2.5 weeks ago.
Active fighters, we love to see it.
Love that. Fighting out of Argentina.
Looking to play spoiler a little bit here too, Dan.
Yeah, he's in tough today, but this is a guy with a lot of rounds and a lot of experience, closing in on 100 professional rounds, where his opponent only has 31.
His opponent tonight, making his ring walk, please welcome DeMichael Triggerman Harris.
These two were going at it too at the weigh-in yesterday.
A lot of pride, a lot of expectation here on DeMichael "The Trigger Man" Harris, a member of Team Jake Paul down in Puerto Rico.
Is that right?
That's right. A lot of eyes on him, as you see. Third Chambers in the corner with him as well.
There's a rumor that Jake Paul will be here tonight.
Oh, that's not a rumor. That's a spoiler, ladies and gentlemen. He will be here later on, but all eyes on DeMichael Harris before he gets here.
Ladies and gentlemen, from inside the beautiful Caribe Royale here in Orlando, Florida, we continue the action with our next bout of the evening. All brought to you by MVP and BoxLab Promotions, the official licensed promoter of the event. Sponsored by Celsius, Live Fit, Essential Energy. Introducing your 3 judges scoring at ringside: Alexander Levin, Max Parker Jr., and Michelle Walker Serrano. At the sound of the bell, the third person in charge of the action inside this ring, referee Massimo Montanini. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with our next attraction of the evening. Featherweights in the ring, scheduled for 6 rounds. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, trimmed in blue. His official weight, 131 pounds even. He enters the ring tonight with a professional record of 11 wins, 7 losses, 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Rosario, Argentina, here is the battle-tested veteran, Blas Ezequiel Caro. And his opponent standing across the ring, ready to go, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black, trimmed in red. His official weight, already 132.2 pounds. He enters the ring tonight an undefeated fighter with a record of 11 wins, no losses, 9 big wins coming by way of knockout with 1 bout even. Fighting out of Decatur, Georgia by way of Cleveland, Ohio, here is the undefeated and hard-hitting DeMichael "Trigger Man" Harris. Once again, referee Massimo Montanini will give his instructions to the fighters.
Waiting on Trigger Man Harris to get off some of his stuff here, but 6 rounds in a super featherweight division. And look at that, Jake Paul is in the building. What in the world is going on with Jake's hair? The camera folks at home, you can't see it, but he's got some crazy hair going.
Something.
Thank you, sir.
Just in time to watch his stablemate.
He kind of looks like Riff Raff with that stuff. Y'all have to see it. I'm not going to spoil it, but let's get to 6 rounds of action here at super featherweight. Look at him. That man is Florida man up, son. I got that ramen noodle hair going.
I could use some of that. I could use some of that.
What in the world? But here, once again, to support his teammate, DeMichael Harris. Here we go. Round 1.
Michael Harris, 5'11" at 132 pounds.
Long for the division.
That dude is long.
You know, and he has to utilize that jab. That's usually what happens when you're that long. You set everything up. You know, like a Tommy Hearns kind of fighter.
Yeah, that's immediately what I always think of when I see a tall fighter underneath like 147 pounds. Tommy Hearns.
Look at his jab. It's Tommy Hearns.
Oh my Lord.
He got the flicker jabs on, and that's what he's gonna do. Flicker jabs, this Tommy Hearns, and then setting up with that straight.
I was working a fight in Detroit last year, and Tommy Hearns showed up, and the place went ballistic.
You know what's crazy? When one of the fight, Tommy Hearns was sitting on my wife's chair, and I had to kick him out. Oh, good counter.
Nice right hand there from Caro.
And sometimes dropping your hands like that, unless you keep your distance, you're going to get hit with that straight.
I like the poise, though, right now from DeMichael Harris. Very calm, collected, even on the front foot, and just slowly but surely backing Caro onto the ropes and into the corner, almost effortlessly.
He's doing a good job of cutting off the ring. He's not letting anything go of that right hand as of yet. Just getting that jab going.
Right. And
6-rounder, not a 4-rounder, so he got a little more time.
Yeah. And, you know, him coming back down or coming back when he's being attacked, you know, it just shows a lot of just like that, you know, just stepping back, being able to come back again and put some pressure with that jab and not get hit.
You know, we talk about a lot of great fighters that use that first round to download data and see exactly what it is that they're standing across from. Maybe not as much volume in that first round. It's kind of what I'm looking at right now from Harris. Right hand sneaks through there from Caro in the end of the combination.
And I think that he needs to double up on that jab or do a little bit of feint. Again, I'm so big on feints. And he cannot walk just like that. He's going to get hit.
Yeah, Caro's putting it together a little bit off the back foot there.
Good uppercut from him. Harris cannot be there.
Right hand, again, double right hand there from Caro, and a left hook as well.
Good sequence there from Caro. I mean, this guy's a vet, man. He's closing in 100 pro rounds. Doesn't have like a sterling record, but he's gone the distance. He's been in there tough. You know, these are good rounds that Harris is going to get. But you're right, Flash. He's got to get out of those positions. Not leave yourself open like that.
That's the worry, is that maybe he's just not seeing some of that stuff. It isn't just being in those positions, getting hit with some heavy punches.
You know, sometimes it's overconfidence. You know, and again, he shouldn't be in that close distance. You know, he has that range, and he should play that range, and that's where his power comes. See, these guys shouldn't be able to hit him. You know, just like how he did earlier, use the jab to get the defensive side.
He did abandon the jab a little bit. He was firing in the first minute, so maybe he'll get back to that in round 2.
Round 1 in the books. Impressive showing from Caro on the, again, spoiler alert. Guy trying to turn the tide here on a fan favorite, and again, Team Jake Paul member, the Michael Harris.
Yeah, if you need any more motivation, you're trying to go up there and give a guy his first loss. Not only that, Jake Paul is here in attendance. Jake Paul's entire team is in attendance. The Michael Harris is part of that entire team. And we saw some really good work in that round from Caro.
The reason for that is he's just walking straight in. He's not using his jab. And guess what? When he steps in, Caro comes in with combinations. Regardless whether it's worth or hard, he's still getting hit with those.
Right, they're still scoring. The judges are seeing those.
Hey, go back, go back. Hey.
Here we go, round 2. Let's see if Triggerman Harris turns up the volume a little bit here after potentially seeing what he wanted to see in first round on the front foot. Walking forward, there's a nice jab.
Just jab.
Well, the good thing now is he's actually bouncing a little bit more than earlier. He's bouncing. It's not just walking around. He's moving his head here and there. You know, he's setting things up.
Solid jab there from Caro off the back foot once again, though.
And again, from earlier, you know, you don't really need to land every punch for that jab. You know, just put it in his face to set everything up behind that. But Harris is using that as an offensive thing. You know, sometimes you gotta be defensive with the jab to set everything up, just to see the reaction of your opponent.
Go back. He's looking to cut the ring off here against methodical pace, but nice right hand there from Harris.
Stop! Yeah, but for Harris, this is his most his toughest opponent. If you just look at, you know, you go by records and you go by experience. So in his 11th pro fight, he's fighting his toughest opponent. That's what you should be doing right now.
Nice jab again, though.
Good jab. He's utilizing it more now.
And you can see Caro's feeling that a little bit more in this round. Nice counter right hand, though.
Caught with that.
And another right hand.
That's 2.
Stop. And that last one was like a blind right hand.
Right, and those are hurt. You know, again, cover up that jab, chin down.
And Caro trying to switch angles off that back foot and just keep that pressure off of him as much as he can with the right hand, Flash.
And the beauty about Caro is he's going both ways. You know, he's going this way, he's going that way, left and right, and then he's leaving something behind.
He's sneaking those right hands in over and over.
And that last right hand he landed, and boom, got out of there. He was gone.
Uppercut through the guard for Caro again.
And here comes again Harris walking. He is walking now again. You know, as earlier,
straight at him, chasing.
It's smart from Caro. He's throwing that right, and he's ducking out, and he's circling out. He's circling out, doing it over and over until Harris figures it out. You might as well keep doing it.
Oh,
and again.
Big right hand there from Caro.
You know, something that I've always told myself, if I'm getting hit with that
hook
shot...
to the body as well. Right hand gets through. Now we're trading. What was that, Flash?
He has to be careful when he's in there because he is a taller guy. Although he is the more stronger guy in terms of power.
Combination there from Caro. And now Harris looks to throw one. A beautiful uppercut again from Caro with a right hand.
Followed up with a right hand over the top, too. Caro's come to fight.
Trading in the pocket. We are trading right now, gentlemen.
Go, 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 go. It's good. It's good.
You know what Caro is doing is, or actually with Harris, you know, it's easy to see him because he's just a one-punch kind of guy right now.
Good job.
2 rounds down. And this fight is turning out to be a war.
Talk about a big fight.
This is becoming a back and forth. And honestly, Caro is showing in these first couple of rounds, he's not just here to fight, he's here to win.
He's definitely here to win. As you can see, he's moving around left and right. He's landing those shots. And
Flash, do you think this is just, again, what we talked about in our last fight with Bocanegra, a little bit of bravado, a little bit of maybe youthful bliss and ignorance to just walk into range and think I can take all these shots no matter what you have?
You know, I think a lot of it is overconfidence because the guy you're supposed to, see the thing is you're supposed to take these guys out and sometimes it gets in your head.
Some nice shots there from Harris. Left hook to the body and a right hand over. It does feel like when Harris lands, he lands with bigger power for sure. And you see Caro even reacting to jabs in that way.
No, my friend.
And again, Dan, you kind of talked about the cat and mouse game going on where Caro's trying to get his and get out. That feels like that's going to have to be the strategy in the entire fight.
He's fighting a beautiful fight. You know, he's landing these pot shots, he's landing these uppercuts, he's getting in and out, he's tricking up Harris. He's using these feints, he's using a lot of great footwork in there.
I think he knows just as well as we do here at the desk that if we start to stand and trade in the pocket,
don't want to do that.
It's a matter of time before Harris finds one.
And that's the thing is you have to be disciplined. It's so hard.
Oh, hey, listen to me. When that's break, you have to go back. Okay?
What do we got here?
Okay?
Just a little left hook after a referee separation there. Miscommunication.
Again, Caro needs to just keep moving around like just how he's doing right now. You know, getting in exchange with a powerful fighter, especially at his distance, can be detrimental or can be very dangerous.
He's getting off first. You know, in some of his exchanges, he's landing the first combination or he's throwing the first combination. And the judges take note of that.
Another solid combination there from Caro, and he gets out. Question for you, though, Flash. Can he do this for 6 rounds? Can he stay on his bike, off the back foot, land his power, and get out continuously?
Well, he needs to do it. You know, especially when he gets hit with the big shot, he's going to have to do it. And that's the only thing that he's going to be able to do going if he wants to win this fight.
There's another right hand.
Can he do it? I believe he can. And with his experience, I believe he can do that.
Not only that, he's got to be in shape. Before 2 weeks ago.
Stop. No punch. No punch.
Active fighter, been in there recently, and again, he's showing it. Like you said, Dan, he's getting off first with these combinations, sliding away, but it does feel like every time Harris does sit down on a punch, it is thudding, like that one right there to the body.
Well, this is going to be an interesting fight to score if it goes the distance, because there are judges out there that like what Caro's doing, you know, throwing, being first. Even though the punches aren't as heavy as Harris's, then there's judges out there that like what Harris does. You know, his punches are cleaner, they're harder, and they're landing flush.
Flash, how do you corral a guy like Caro right now? With a minute left in this round, it does feel like Harris just can't get him to stay in one spot. How do you corral him against the ropes? Do you cut off the ring? What do you do here?
Well, you do definitely cut the ropes off, but jab, that double jab right there. Double jab, double jab, double jab, triple jab, you know, just to set everything up. It'll slow everything down because you know exactly where your opponent is going.
And right there, Caro tries to show him the right hand.
And he showed him the right, then he jabbed to the chest. I don't see that too often.
Starting to get a little bravado of his own in there.
This is interesting. Now Harris is stepping back, which is actually might be good for him.
I was going to say, maybe switch up the tempo a little bit. Make Caro come into his range and then sit down with some power punches.
No punch. No
Last
punch.
18 seconds here, round 3. And a jab from Caro.
Let he go.
Short right hand again.
I mean, you got to give this round to Caro off of activity.
I'm excited to see what your scorecard is, Dan.
Can't tell you yet.
Okay, we're keeping that close to the vest there, Flash. Come on, man.
Don't be looking at my sheet.
We know Dan's a smart kid in class. We can't be looking at the statistics.
I feel like I'm back in high school
That's no one's ever cheated off of me on any test in high school.
Well, right now, I'll tell you this. The Trigger Man Harris is getting a test of his own. This is a fight, and again, through 3 rounds, you could say this is Caro's fight. You could say that, like Dan said, Trigger Man Harris has landed some big shots and maybe turned a couple of them. Regardless, it's a close fight.
Right, and that's something that a young man like him has to have, is the variety, the mindset to change his ways to be able to win the fight.
I think corner work is going to be so important for him right here because, again, he is so young. He does have Theo Chambers in the corner. Let's see what the adjustments are midway through the fight here, because this is the turning point and where I think you're going to start to see someone separate.
So midway through the fight, I have Caro 2 rounds to 1 over Harris based off of activity, based off of footwork, and just Harris not throwing enough shots. Yes, Wade, you're right. When he does throw Harris, they are nice, clean shots. He just has to throw more of them. So I have it 2 rounds to 1, Caro.
And it looks like that might be a little bit of the plan here to turn up the volume in round 4 as Harris starting to come forward. Use that jab you like so much, Flash.
I feel like Harris right now is
oh, that was a right hand. It hurt him.
There it is, chopping shot. He says it's behind the head, but it looked to me like it was right on the side of the temple.
Yeah, chopped right down behind the ear. That hurt him. Caro's still on some wobbly legs.
What's the ref doing getting in the way?
You know, I think this is where
uppercut, left hook.
Harris is feeling that he needs to be hungry for this fight.
Trigger Man about to let some bullets go.
Yeah, you could
2 minutes left.
You could feel a little bit of the momentum switching here midway through the fight.
And he's digging those body shots really well.
And what you're starting to see too, guys, is he's eating a lot of these shots he ate early, and it to me looks like he doesn't feel any of it. He's walking right through that stuff.
You know what I like? Just what he did now was feint, and then 1-2 after that. Although it didn't land, but it was something that could have been very devastating.
Go back.
I know it's odd to say this, Dan, but because Triggerman is the taller fighter, but in the clinch, I feel like he's having the most success close here. You want to try to keep it there.
Caro just landed a short, crisp right, but you're right, yes. Sometimes you see this from taller fighters. They don't really use their range. They fight on the inside, like Sebastian Fundora comes to mind. That guy does not jab, despite having the reach of a heavyweight. Now these guys are standing and trading again.
And you see how square Harris is, which diminishes a lot of his power. You know,
the great flurry from both fighters there. Caro landed a left hook to end it off. But in round 4, we've seen a ton of action. Both fighters stepping on the gas. And again, you see it right there. Caro lands 2 shots, and it sounds like when Harris returns with 1, that's just the most devastating out of the combination.
You know, this round's up for grabs.
Yeah, and one thing I see is that, you know, Harris is not showing something special in my eyes, and I think because
that's a nice body shot there.
He's not utilizing his capability. That's the thing, is he's not utilizing his capability.
I mean, he's not consistent. Like, he's showing flashes.
Yes, he does. He does have a lot of power when it comes down to it, but it's just he's relying on it too much.
Right hand from both fighters there on the break. Last 10 seconds.
A lot of that's what Caro's doing. A lot of Caro's taking away a lot of his strengths by moving around in there and being tricky, being crafty.
Solid right hand in the round there from Harrison. It's funny, we talked about the Tommy Hearns comparison. Obviously, Theo Chambers, Kronk-style boxing. They want to be heavy on that jab like we talked about. Big right hand. I think that right there at the end of the round, he may have found that, as you heard the corner, because that's the shot they want from him. Sit down on that right hand after a long jab, and they think he can take out Caro. But here's some highlights from the last round, Dan.
Yeah, I thought Harris had a good bounce-back round. I thought he lost the previous 2 rounds, and he came back. He stood and traded in the middle of the ring, and he was able to land some heavy shots on Caro. Caro did get in him some of the shots of his own towards the end, but I edged that round to Harris. Maybe he could steal some momentum and steal his fight.
You know, one thing that the jab Harris is doing is he's trying to land devastatingly, as compared to just punching at the end of those punch like Hedman Hearns would do.
Here we go, round 5, potentially a toss-up fight so far. Could be even Steven as we get into these later rounds.
Something that he has to do is just punch at a range instead of trying to land those shots. Because Caro will come in, that sets up the uppercut, sets up the straight, but he has to use those jabs to make him
that's a right hand that hurts, and he puts him down.
He sticks it behind the head. That was not behind the head.
That was not.
Nasty right hand there.
So his legs are messed up.
Harris. Yeah, he's hurt.
Equilibrium shot. He's done.
Hey! Gets to his feet, and that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, just like that, no matter what happened beforehand, he's got the eraser in that right hand. DeMichael Trigger Man Harris by knockout.
I said the fight was up for grabs, and he was looking for some momentum. He seized the momentum in the previous round. He comes out with a chopping right hand, gets the stoppage.
Well, behind the jab as well, you know, utilizing that jab and then that pop, that straight, that sets up the powerful straight, but because Caro's head was right there.
That's just what we talked about, Flash, that Kronk-style heavy jab to look for the right hand behind it. We had just mentioned it in the break, and he finds it right there at the start of the fifth. A beautiful shot right behind the ear.
You know, that's where Caro put his head down. You know, you're going to get hit with that. When you get hit with that, that's legal. You put yourself there.
Yeah. Big shot there from DeMichael Harris, and that one ends the fight. As you saw, the equilibrium was gone there from Caro. And that's you know, Teddy Atlas likes to describe Deontay Wilder's right hand as a great eraser. No matter what you did up until that point in the fight, it erases all those flaws with one shot. And that's kind of what we saw here.
That's what we're saying for Harris. He just wasn't able to find that shot consistently. There was no doubt that he had the heavier hands of the two fighters. It was Caro that was moving in there and kind of giving him fits in there. But it was Harris. It was up to Harris to find that shot, land that shot, and erase all doubt, because I had it even. I had it even heading into that fifth round. It was only a 6-round fight.
Well, folks, on Saturday, May 4th, Canelo returns to the zone to fight the undefeated Jaime Munguia for the undisputed super middleweight title. And after the drama of a delay of a cut to Tyson Fury in sparring, a new date is now set for the undisputed heavyweight clash between Fury and Alexander Usyk, live on DAZN from Saudi Arabia, May 18th.
Now, something that Harris needs to really work on is patience. With that jab to set things up, step back, use that jab, step back, set up that straight, you know, just being patient, because that's where he can be very, very devastating.
I got the chat open here. A lot of them are saying shot to the back of the head, but, you know, being ringside, that was not back of the head. The referee didn't see it. I didn't see that, at least. Well, right on the side.
He put himself there as well. You know, he ducked into it, and sometimes, you know, you're punching right in front. It's not like you went on the side.
All right, well, let's send it into the ring with our official announcement from Will Montero.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Massimo Montanini brings a halt to the contest at 36 seconds of round number 5. For your winner, by technical knockout victory and remains undefeated, DeMichael Trigger Man Harris.
Once again, folks, your winner by TKO, DeMichael the Trigger Man Harris. Gentlemen, final thoughts on that fight?
Well, I think that Harris needs to learn how to be more patient. The power was definitely there. Caro was doing amazing.
It was a good fight. Appreciate that, Flash. But we got to get to our next one. Sorry. Super middleweight matchup coming up next. Chop Chop Chaparro and Asher. 4 rounds coming at you.
Live on DAZN worldwide May 18th. The fight of the century. Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Tyson Fury looks to reign as king of the division. But Alexander Usyk is undefeated and coming for the crown. For the first time in over 20 years, all the belts are on the line. Ring of Fire, live on DAZN worldwide May 18th. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Let's go, baby!
Once again, folks, we are here in Orlando, Florida, and our next matchup, the tail of the tape in this super middleweight fight. From Puerto Rico, Alexis Chop Chop Chaparro versus Daniel Auger. Auger, 9 years older, but Chop with a 2-inch reach advantage. 4 rounds in the super middleweight division. Let's get it going.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, Daniel Auger, set to make his way to the ring, Alexis Chaparro.
This is Amanda Serrano's newest signee. He's a 3-time U.S. National Amateur Champion. He competed at both the 2020 and 2024 U.S. Boxing Olympic trials. He's also a fashion model.
I was going to say, you're going to leave out, you're burying the lead here, Dan.
I was going to get to it. The guy is very good-looking dude. And he signed with Amanda Serrano, so you know that she has an eye for talent. Apparently, he's known Amanda since he was about 8 or 9, watching her in Puerto Rico, leading by example. So Amanda Serrano's stable is growing as a manager in addition to a legend inside the ring.
Hey, he might give out the Magnum later.
Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the beautiful Caribe Royale here in Orlando, Florida, we continue the action with our next bout of the evening. All brought to you by MVP and BoxLab Promotions, the official licensed promoter of the event. Sponsored by Celsius, Live Fit, Essential Energy. Introducing your 3 judges scoring at ringside, Efren LeBron, Alexander Levin, and Max Parker Jr. Your referee in charge of the action at the sound of the bell, Frank Santor Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with our next bout of the evening, scheduled for 4 rounds in a super middleweight special attraction.
All right, well, let's get a bit. Thank you.
Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing multicolored trunks trimmed in red. His official weight, 166.6 pounds. He enters the ring tonight for the 6th time as a professional, fighting out of Browning, Montana. Here is Daniel Auger. And his opponent standing across the ring, ready to go, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white, trimmed in gold. His official weight, a fight-ready 165.6 pounds. This former 3-time national amateur champion and 2-time Olympic trials qualifier is tonight making his highly anticipated professional debut. Fighting out of Queens, New York, by way of Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, here is the touted young prospect known as Chop, Alexis Chaparro. Once again, referee Frank Santor Jr. will give his instructions to the fighters.
All right, guys, we've had all the instructions in the dressing room. Trunks are good. Your trunks are good. Let's keep your blows here above. Just obey my commands. Questions? Good luck, guys.
The pro debut for Chop Chaparro versus Daniel Auger. 4 rounds in the super middleweight division, live here on DAZN.
Time.
Let's go.
All right, you see the height difference here, and Chaparro's going to be.
Oh my lord! Right hand already. Chop lands a big one.
You know, a lot of it was set up with that double jab.
How about a double leg takedown? My lord. Good lord.
Don't blink, people. This one might end right here.
Yeah, Auger's already in some big trouble here.
Auger just can't step in. Chop is stepping back and countering with it.
Speedy jab there.
Let him go.
Very twitchy.
Turn around. Don't turn your back.
Twitch. You can't teach that, Nonito.
No. You know, sometimes it's acquired. You know, it's instinctual. Good jab by Chop. He's chopping his opponent down.
Okay, Flash, talk to him.
A little play on words from Nonito.
Nice gazelle hook there as well. He's showing you some of the talent he does have. I mean, we talked about it, a decorated amateur background.
He's very composed, too. For a pro debut, he's very composed.
Stop!
Power.
punches up. Keep punches up.
A
You
little
okay?
bit low on that shot, but still a powerful left hand there. Look at that single leg from Roger.
Come on, don't hold. Punch your way out.
Maybe he has an MMA background, wrestling background.
Little knee tap there.
Well, that's the only way he can kind of get something in, is pressing forward. But that jab from Chop Chop is just chopping his opponent down.
Ogier just landed something though. A little right hand, Ogier.
From there, Chop Chop just shift
Let him go.
so that he can open up.
Let him go.
You know, that's something that he needs to learn when somebody is in front of him, is to shift off and give a different angle. Good distance coming from Chop Chop.
Well, gentlemen, let's check in with Coach Larry Wade. He's got something to tell us in this fight.
Chop Chop is showing that he's leagues above him in here. He's strong, he's fast, he's too explosive, and on top of that, he's poised. So I can see this being an early night. He's doing a wonderful job in there.
Stop!
Stop his leg.
Again, Coach Wade, we appreciate it. And I agree with him. I agree with him. This could be a short night unless Ogier keeps going to that single leg. Knee tap. Oh, left hand, and it hurt him. Ogier's on wobbly legs, and he goes down.
Chop Chop is sitting down on those shots, and they are devastating.
He's getting up, but might not in time. That's done.
That's it. That's it. Ogier goes down, and Chop Chop, Alexis Chaparro, with a insane pro debut knockout. Vicious right hand, left hooks. He had it all in the bag, folks. They call him a fashion model. He was in his runway tonight.
Newly signed to Amanda Serrano. He comes out here and puts on a great performance in his debut. Who'll remember this one forever? Really good-looking prospects at 168 pounds, and he should grow into that frame as well.
And watch him sit his punches down.
Yeah, he needs to retire.
He has a big leverage.
A left hook to the body made the legs wobble. And Chop Chop follows it up with a nasty right hand. Look at that.
You know what I liked? He was very poised. You know, Aguirre was coming out reckless. He was coming out trying to land single leg takedowns. And Chaparro didn't really let it phase him. He kind of stayed back in the cut. And you love that from a guy that making his debut, that poise.
All four heavyweight titles will be up for grabs on May 18th when Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk collide for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, live on DAZN. I like what you said there, Dan. Poised for a young guy in his pro debut with a little bit of an odd and awkward matchup, and was able to weather whatever that was and get the finish.
Flash, you can attest to this. Those are some of the hardest styles to fight when you don't know what the guy's going to do in there. I'm sure Chaparro didn't think tonight he'd get single leg takedowns thrown at him, but for Chaparro, he's got Jake Paul here. He's got Amanda Serrano here. He's got a lot of eyeballs on him, so to be that poised, it looks like he wasn't even in a fight. Dude's got an unbelievable poker face.
Those guys can throw elbows, headbutts, and they're very dangerous, like you said, Dan. You know, all of that, but like you said, Chop Chop was just very poised, very mature for this first fight.
And when you go forward with a guy like him, a prospect, obviously, good size, good quickness, explosivity. Flash, how do you progress him?
Well, the jab definitely is, but he's very good at looking at things, countering, and the power is something that will carry through bigger fights.
Well, let's send it into Will Montero with our official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, your end comes at 2 minutes and 30 seconds of round number 1. For your winner, by knockout victory in his professional debut, Alexis Chop Chop Chaparro.
Your winner by TKO, and now newly 1-0 with 1 knockout, Alexis Chop Chop Chaparro.
Yeah, I know who I am. I know who I am. Yeah, I know who I am.
A lot to look for in this young prospect. Once again, a protege of Amanda Serrano. Cannot wait to see what he does next. I'm sure we'll see him again on Prospects. But coming up next, next, we have a heavyweight matchup to finalize our preliminary card between David Garcia and Henry Richard. 6 rounds. Richard being 12 years the elder and holding a 6-inch reach advantage. What happens next? I guess we'll find out.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, Henry Richard.
Revelation chapter 7, verses 16 and 17. Yes, sir. They shall hunger no more, neither shall they thirst anymore.
I'll tell you this, gentlemen, the music selections have been A1 tonight. Henry Richard out of Conroe, Texas, 4-0 with 3 knockouts. He's about to make me get out of this chair and start dancing, Flash. Come on.
His opponent tonight set to make his way to the ring. Here is David "The Beast" Garcia.
Hometown crowd here for David Garcia out of Crescent City, Florida. 5-0, 2 KOs, decorated amateur background as well. And again, with the heavyweights, folks, do not blink. 6 rounds of action. Let's see if Garcia can put on for the city.
Ladies and gentlemen, from inside the beautiful Caribe Royale here in Orlando, Florida, we are ready for our final preliminary bout of the evening. All brought to you by MVP and Box Lab Promotions, the official licensed promoter of the event. Sponsored by Celsius, Live Fit, Essential Energy. Introducing your 3 judges scoring at ringside: Michelle Walker Serrano, Efren LeBron, and Alexander Levin. When the action begins inside the ring, in charge of the action, Massimo Montanini. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with the main event of the evening between 2 undefeated heavyweights scheduled for 6 rounds where someone's gotta go. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing multicolored trunks, his official weight 229.4 pounds. He enters the ring tonight perfect in his young career with a professional record of 5 wins, no defeats, 3 big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Conroe, Texas, here is the undefeated Henry Richard. And his opponent standing across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks trimmed in blue and gold. His official weight already 234.8 pounds. He enters the ring tonight perfect in his career with a professional record of 5 wins, no losses, 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Crescent City, Florida, here is the undefeated David "The Beast" Garcia. Once again, referee Massimo Montanini will give his instructions to the fighters.
I already explained the rules. No low blow, no behind the head, okay, and no holding. Touch him up. Good luck.
I'm holding bow.
6 rounds of action. Garcia. And Richard. Heavyweights about to throw down, and that face-off was intimidating, and Garcia sprints to the middle of the ring, Dan.
Gotta love that. You gotta love ending the prelims with heavyweights, then starting the main card with heavyweights.
Yes. Big, beefy men. That's what we like in our heavyweights.
Okay, vicious. Here's vicious. You know, he's using those head movement coming in.
Oh,
and here's
right hand.
guy.
Oh, my goodness, right hand again. Look at this, swinging on the ropes. Back and forth.
That was like when you're playing Fight Night and you're jamming.
Right hand from Richard. That was a short one, buddy. Here's the thing, Garcia's very My goodness, this is...
I haven't seen an exchange like that in a while.
And 45 seconds in.
And I feel like that's it, though.
I mean, nothing really landed. Nothing landed, because if it did, one guy would be laid out right now.
Yeah, listen, David Garcia was trying to channel Ryan Garcia with some of those hooks right off rip. He was putting on for the last name, but things have settled down here in the last few seconds. That was insane.
I wasn't ready for all that.
Oh, nice right hand there from Garcia.
Garcia's getting inside those shorter arms.
And that's what he wants to be. He's a shorter guy. You got to press him.
Short uppercut there from Richard, though.
Something's about to land, guys. There's some electricity is about to go through.
Left hand, Garcia.
Both guys are chin are up.
And Richard lands a left hand behind that as well. Like you said, David, it's just a matter of time. Not when, but if one of these heavyweights hits the canvas.
Garcia's a lot smaller than like Andy Ruiz, but he has the same type of stature.
Yeah.
Andy Ruiz will do the same thing. He'll throw these short, compact shots in between the bigger opponent.
No punch. No punch.
Doesn't throw a lot of punches.
Come here.
But he makes them count.
But these guys' chin
right there.
are up there.
Yeah.
And we talk about a size advantage, right? We see reach, we talk about height, but in this case, where they're fighting inside for Garcia, left hand! Huge left hand there!
The ropes held him up there. Great call by the referee. He was out. If those ropes weren't there, he's in the first row.
My goodness, what a left hand there from David Garcia. Richard's hurt. Can he follow it up and close the show here? 30 seconds left, round one. Right hand to the body.
Good body shot. And watch him come over with the hook. Just like that. He's going to do it again, and it's going to land.
And Flash, you just talked about it. Richard's chin up in the air, mouth wide open. It's just telegraphed for a knockout here.
This is why I love heavyweight boxing. The smaller man can beat the bigger man on any given night.
Right hand to the body from Garcia. Shucks Richard off and looks to go after him. That's not, was that the end? Okay, we didn't know that was the end. This is how loud this crowd is, you couldn't hear it. What a first round of action. There's going to be a discussion here in the corner, it looks like, of Richard. Let's see what happens here, but man.
I'll tell you what, our production truck has been doing a phenomenal job with the replays. They got a lot to cut from that first round. And they're coming. That first exchange on the ropes.
This is insane.
Watch this, folks.
This is crazy. Rock'em sock'em robot stuff there.
Yes.
Oh!
And it was the shorter, choppier shots from Garcia that found the
Look at that
target.
Uppercut, left hook.
Those ropes aren't there, no, you don't. He's in the first row.
Oh, yes. You can see how his legs just went straight.
That's like you chop down a tree. Timber!
Okay. Mueve la cabeza, okay? Don't stay in the line.
Round two. You have to expect we're going to get more of the same here, Flash.
Yeah, especially Garcia seeing that. You see it in his eyes.
I was just about to go into a thought about height and reach advantage, but where this fight's being fought, it's actually favoring Garcia, the shorter man getting to the shots he wants to. And like you said, Flash, the chin of Richard up high in the air, almost a sitting target.
Well, right now he's boxing well. He's throwing his jab. He's moving around. You know, he doesn't need to be there. And now he's holding on and try to get to that position where he can box again, which is smart on his part.
Back.
Richard looks pretty good. His legs and his eyes recovered a little bit from that. He's a little stiff just to begin with, so it's hard to tell if his legs are gone or not.
But then it looks like where he gets into trouble is the big combination, the big flurry we saw in the first round, where he squared up on the ropes, leaning back, chin up, and then just let's see who's got it. You know,
technically doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
And Garcia right now seems a lot more sound, Flash.
Yes, especially inside that inside the distance. That distance is Garcia's.
Oh, left hook, hurt it bad. The ropes save him again. My goodness gracious.
You okay?
Those ropes are like a trampoline, Flash.
That's where he's susceptible. He's going to get hit, especially with his chin up there.
Those ropes are not there. Once again, he's in the first row eating popcorn with the fans.
That looked like an Irish whip off the ropes in the WWE.
But he's coming back throwing heat. Garcia's got to be careful here, but he's finding the range with that left hand. And Richard can't stop.
Another left hook.
Don't put it in the body, yeah.
Right hand, left hook, right hand. He's up. It's over. shuts the lights off in the final fight of our prelims.
He's pleading his case saying, I'm good, the fight's over.
I don't get it, you know?
David Garcia with some impressive power punching in the heavyweight division.
My goodness, what a showing from Crescent City's own David Garcia. Bragging rights are on the line for promotional rivals Queensberry and Matchroom in the history-making 5 versus 5 collision set to take place in Riyadh on June 1st. Gentlemen, my goodness gracious.
Tell you what, that's how you end the prelim show right there before we get to the main card. 2 heavyweights throwing heavy leather flash, but it was David Garcia. The shorter, more compact shots will always beat the longer shots.
Well, his punches will land faster, you know, and he's right there where he's hiding himself. He can't get hit so much, but he has all the leverage because he's in that distance.
And this is exactly what he talked about, Flash. Look at that left hand. My goodness. It was chin up, straight back, flat on the ropes, and just eating shots there for Richard. Oh, my Lord.
One thing we know is that the ropes work tonight. The ropes are very tight, and they're going to keep everyone safe tonight.
Let's send it to Will Montero. He is in the ring with our official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Massimo Montanini weighs the contest off at 1 minute and 41 seconds of round number 2. For your winner, by knockout victory and remains undefeated, David "The Beast" Garcia.
You guys got the team? Let's talk so the people can hear us. Remaining undefeated, how are we feeling right now? You got a big smile on your face.
I'm on cloud nine right now.
What are the emotions you're feeling right now?
Just happiness, pure happiness.
When you came into this, did you have someone in mind that you wanted to fight for, or is this for you?
It's all for me.
How's the coach feeling? How are we feeling?
Amazing, amazing. Guy really put in a lot of work for this, came down a lot of weight, came over adversity like a lot of others do, but he really stood the test and put his mind to what he wanted to do and supporting his family and coming in here and showing out for everybody from his hometown, Crescent City, and we hope Orlando enjoyed the show. We hope we can have him back.
Anything you want to say to everyone in Crescent City and everyone who was supporting you?
I just want to say thank you to all my fans. Yes. Thank you to everybody supporting me. Yes. After the year I had last year, I'm glad I still got people standing up for me. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Crescent City. Thank you, my family. It's a huge, big moment.
Yeah. Come on.
Huge stepping stone for me, and hopefully they bring me back in July for another big opportunity, and another great moment. Thank you, Undisputed Promotions, Pitbull Unleashed, MVP, DAZN. Thank you to Jesus Ortiz. A lot of people don't give him credit, but this is the man behind all the work. He put all the work in for me, got me right where I need to be. And last but not least, you always got to give it all to God, because he's the reason we're all here.
Congratulations. Give it up, Orlando, one more time. Champ is in the building. Congratulations.
What a way to end our prelim card. David Garcia by knockout. We've had a fun night of fights already, all action-packed, but we are so far from being done. Everything that you've seen so far, it's been immaculate. It's been amazing. It's been Prospect 6, but it's only been the opening. We still have our main card to come, so stay tuned. We will be right back with highly contested action, our co-main, the rematch you're waiting for, our main event, Yoenis Tellez, Joseph Jackson. We are live on DAZN. See you in just a second.
Hey champ, I know why you're here. You're a born winner, the top dog. You have a proper punch on you. It only takes one, eh? But I know you're not all about throwing haymakers. You know your bobs from your weaves, and you know DAZN's got over 150 fights every year. Over 150. Proper stat. All the action, the chaos, the comebacks, the non-stop knockouts. Big fights every week. So get those gloves back on. Together, we're boxing royalty. DAZN, undisputed.